Hello, happy Monday. I'm just going to wait a few seconds to see if someone joins me. I'm using a new platform today to go live, so I'm crossing my fingers and toes that it all goes well. If you cannot hear me, if you would please just shoot me a little comment on there. Let me know if you can see me, can't see me. My name is Isabel with Creative Escape Paint Parties. For those of you that don't know me, I love teaching step-by-step paintings at paint parties, do birthday parties, team building events. I teach fun art, not fine art. And tonight I'm going to be showing you my version of Van Gogh's Starry Night. So I hope that you are a fan of this Starry Night masterpiece that Van Gogh painted many, many years ago. So as you come on, if you could just say hello so that I know that I'm not talking to myself, that you can hear me and see me, that would be wonderful. So for starters tonight, I'm going to be painting a small version. This is a little bigger than an 8 by 10. It's about a 9 by 12. And I'm using a mixed media pad. Sometimes I like to use these pads to save space. I have so many canvases already collected of different paintings I've done, so sometimes I paint them on these art pads and then I could just save them on sheet protectors. So it takes up less space. And because this painting, as beautiful as it is and really easy it is to paint, it just takes a long time. So let me show you this one that I did here. This is a 16 by 20. This took me about 3.5 hours to finish because it's a lot of layering and just small dashes. The whole painting is just pretty much dashes and layers. So you don't have to paint it all at once. You can take your time. You know, sometimes it's good to take a break from your painting and step back and see, maybe you want to change colors. So it's okay. You don't have to finish it all at once. I did not. It took me probably 3 days to finish this painting because I broke it up. I was working on other things in between. So again, as you come on, if you can just give me a quick hello. Can you hear me? All is good. I'm going to go ahead and continue. So like I said, I'm painting on this art pad tonight. And I'm going to do half of this painting tonight, and I'll do the second half tomorrow. So if you want to tune in tomorrow and see me do the second half, that'd be awesome. I've got my colors tonight. I'm going to be using white. I have a couple different yellows, and I have several different hues of blue. So this painting has a lot of blue in it, but I've seen it painted in many different color schemes. So we don't have to be identical to mine or identical to the original, because of course we could never do an original Van Gogh, right? There's only one. So we just do it in the colors that you like. I personally love blue, so I'm going to stick with blues, and I'm going to show you real quick on here. I'm going to be using a round brush, and so I'm going to divide. This is going to be my windy part right here. And so all I'm doing is just dashes. So that's going to be that wind that just swirls in the sky. There's a lot of motion in this painting, lots of motion. And then I'm going to go just to here. Right below this line I'm painting, this is like a valley. It's either a hill. I don't think it's a mountain, but it's more like the hills. I mean, it could be a mountain. Okay, this right here is a cypress tree. It's actually supposed to be a cypress tree. But it looks, I love it because it looks kind of whimsical and fun. And then these are the stars, and then we've got the moon. And so the stars, we're just gonna fill them in. Nothing, you know, no fine technique here. We're just swirling these in, filling them in. Filling them in. Now, what I was reading about the history of this painting, uh, this one up here, this star here, is believed to have been Venus, the planet Venus that was actually shining really bright that night, because in the original painting, Van Gogh emphasized this top left star up here, so it is believed to have been the planet Venus that would have, in that time period, have been visible in the sky when he painted Starry Night. So these will be just fun little round stars, and we're going to be doing a lot of layering on them. And then the crescent moon. I'm going to use different shades. I'm going to put a little white. Just like that. The pencil marks on your paper or your canvas will start fading as you put layers of paint over them, and that's okay. So what I use is, if I'm gonna be sketching a bunch of canvases for paint parties, I'll either use a projector, which is really cool, overhead projector. But if you don't have a projector at home, there's this paper called graphite or carbon paper. You can buy it at Michael's or Joann's. You can buy it on Amazon. And so when you get it, it'll come in different size sheets depending on which one you buy. You'll use the carbon side down, or it used to be shiny, but anyway, that will be down towards the canvas or the paper or whatever surface you're trying to trace an image onto. Then you're going to grab the tracer, which will look like this, and put it right over, and then you just trace the sketch right onto your canvas, or like I said, or your mixed media art paper, or you can paint it on a plank of wood if you wanted to. I'm going to come back and I'm going to work some more of my blue. Again, all I'm doing is just dash, dash, dash. Dashing all the way across. And it's okay if you get into that cypress tree there, because we're going to paint over it with brown and it'll cover that. Dashing, and I'm alternating between different blues. I've got Caribbean blue, bright blue, primary blue, navy blue. You can just layer them on. That's all we're doing. And just so you know, don't be so harsh on yourself if your painting looks horrible at the beginning. As you can see, mine looks like probably garbage right now. But if you've been to any of my parties, you know that it all starts looking just pretty awful before it gets super awesome. So let's not judge any of our paintings until we're done. Dash, 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 dash. There is a different way you can do it. You can do dashing all over the sky to make all this blue, like I did here, or you can paint the, the background a light blue, and then you can layer over it. Either way, it's fine. There's no real right or wrong way to do it. It's just whatever you prefer. I like to do it this way because I want to see some of that white peeking through. So right now I'm just going around this moon. It's a crescent moon, and then it's got these this glow around it. So again, remember, as you're doing it, you're creating motion around each of these stars as you go around it. So right around this one, I'm going to start circling around it and just dashing with my round brush, just dashing. And then the next one, same thing. And it'll start coming together nicely as you start putting more layers. It's a really fun painting. It can be very relaxing if you're just, enjoying your evening or your day when the kids are at school and you're just here dashing, dashing. And when you least expect it, it just starts looking so great. Has anyone been to the Van Gogh exhibit? I tried to go to the one here. I actually purchased tickets back in, I purchased them back in October because I wanted to go in December for my birthday. I wanted to take my whole family with me. But then it got pushed back. They canceled it and they pushed it out to February. Then they pushed it out to April. So it doesn't look like I'm going to get to go see that exhibit. So if you've been able to go maybe in another city, I know my cousin in Chicago, he went to see it and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. And I was just bummed out that it was canceled. Okay, so here I've got some motion there. Now I'm adding a different blue. And you can keep layering until all the white is covered if that's what you want, or you can leave it where a little bit of the white is peeking through, which is fine. This wave that goes right here in the middle, you just want to make sure that that one somehow stands out. And what I did for that is I just started dashing some lighter, like some white around the edges so that it would just keep that defined in the middle there. I've seen this painting in beautiful hues of purple and pink and magenta, and it looked really nice. So you can be creative and you can make this in your own color scheme that you like. I've also seen where they do the blue sky, instead of being a dark blue sky, they made it look like a sunset. So they had a lot of oranges and, you know, yellows. It looked real pretty. So there I am, just dashing, dashing. As you can see, this is going to take a while. That's why I'm not gonna do this all tonight. You would shut me out real quick. You'd be like, no way. But if you enjoy painting and you would like to give it a try, I am going to give you the free tracer. So you will get this free tracer that you can print at home, and then you can trace onto your canvas or any surface that you want to paint on. And you will also get step-by-step written instructions, and I will even give you the link to my short time-lapse tutorial of me painting this one here. This one here. Your tracer will not include this little girl here. I decided to at the last minute just add this little girl. Represents my daughter Sophia reaching for the stars there. But you can do you can add anything you'd like. You can, I've seen some people where instead of having the town here, they have maybe a lake, or they have a school or a building. I thought about, when I was working on it, I thought about maybe putting like a water tower that had the name of my town, like Spring Hill, on it. Or maybe you want to put in your hometown, if you know, whatever that place may be. Or you have a landmark, a favorite landmark that you would like to put on there. Let's say maybe the Eiffel Tower. Again, just you can make this painting in so many different ways, and so fun. So many different versions, and that would be just fine. So with my tracer and step-by-step instructions, you'll get the basic knowledge of how to get started. And then from there, you can just add, different elements to your Starry Night. I've seen where someone put their cat, they painted a cat. The cat was sitting somewhere here by the tree, or maybe on the other side of the town. You can, or a dog. You can do that. All right, I'm going to add a little more white here to this. Looks like a gust of wind that just swirled in the sky here. So, cool fact, odd fact, I don't know how cool it could be, because the artist Vincent van Gogh had such a sad, yes, he was such a sad, tormented man. He actually painted this from the asylum. He self-committed, and that was, I have it written down. Hold on. 1849. In 1849, he committed himself to an asylum. He was having a crisis. He suffered from mental illness. And, he's the one that, well, there's a couple different theories. He either cut his own ear off or someone did it. Who knows? Anyway, his ear was gone. And he was getting treatment at this asylum in France. And he was painting. He continued painting while he was there. And from his window, this was the image that he saw, which was the town down below by the hills, the rolling hills, the cypress tree, and yeah, so he painted this. And I read that he actually painted Starry Night 21 times. He painted it 21 times. And you won't even believe this. I didn't believe this. He considered his painting of Starry Night to have been a failure. Can you believe that? A failure. This masterpiece that now sits in the museum in New York City, admired by the world, he considered a failure. It's amazing how we are our worst critic, aren't we? We are our worst critic. So don't feel bad if you're not happy with your Starry Night, okay? Because apparently Van Gogh was not happy with his. So let's just have fun with it. Let's just have fun and enjoy what we're doing. And so also from those 21 paintings that he did of Starry Night from that window, not one of them did he paint with the bars on the window. So I thought that was neat. He didn't paint the bars as if he was just not even seeing that they're there, just focusing on what the beauty that he saw up in the sky, and that's what he did. Of course, he went on to paint other magnificent pieces from the asylum. I think the other one was the famous uh, sunflowers. I think there was a sunflower painting that he did from there. Okay, so as you can see, that blue is starting to come around right there, and you can see my my wind swirling right here. Let's get some more blue. Sometimes I take my brush and I dip it in the color, and then I dip it in the blue, and I let it just blend as I'm doing my dashes here. So you can keep layering and layering until you've got it all covered in. You can get rid of all that white underneath, or you can leave some of it peeking through. If you like a very dark sky, then put in some of that darker blue. I'm using a round number 6. Okay, so like I mentioned, I would love to gift you the step-by-step instructions so that you can paint this yourself or paint it with your family. You can get the tracer, print out the tracer, and get some carbon paper, or you can hold up your paper to the window or a light and trace it that way. You can get creative and create and just trace it in different ways. And you can do this with your kids, your family. How about date night? And then you can watch the time lapse. It's a short time lapse just of me painting this. And I will put the link in the description after my live. You could also go to my website. You should see it at the bottom of the screen there, cepaintparties.com, and it'll be right there on that welcome page where you can request your free Starry Night step-by-step instructions and tracer, and you can paint your own. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to work some more on my stars. Let's see, we're going to add this brush. You want to make sure that you wash your brushes really well, or have several brushes to work with, because some of these colors, especially like the black or the blue, it's hard to come off once you get them on your brush. And then if you pick up lighter colors, you're gonna see them. All right, so I'm gonna come over and go over my crescent moon. Then I'm picking up some lighter yellow and a little white, and I'm going around that outside glow. Again, always using that dash, dash, dash movement. And I'm going to extend it out to where I have the blue. So what happens when we mix a little yellow with blue, we start getting some green. Don't want to get too much green unless you want to. Okay. And just light. Remember that as you're painting, if you put pressure on your strokes, on your brush, if you press down, you're going to get wide strokes. So if you want to just have light and controlled lines, you want to be very light on your pressure that you're using. Don't press down on that brush. So I just picked up some more yellow and some white. Now I'm coming to this star, and I'm going to go around. So if you're a perfectionist, it's going to take you a while to do this because you're going to keep going around and over it and layering, and then you're going to want to add some more, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. That's why this painting should not be rushed. Should not have to finish it all in one sitting, because then it will no longer be, enjoyable. Unless you've got all day or you've got a big chunk of time that you're working with, and that's fine. But most of us don't have a lot of time. We kind of have a little bit of time here and there, and that's what we got to work with, and that's fine. As long as we find at least a little bit of time to enjoy ourselves doing something different and creative. I did not go to school for art. I'm self-taught. I watched videos, I took some online courses, I learned just a few techniques, but I will tell you, I do not teach fine art. I encourage creativity. I will encourage you to try something that you've never tried before. I will encourage you to think positive about what you're doing, your painting and your abilities, and don't be so hard on yourself, especially if you've never painted before. If I can do these paintings, anyone can. The only difference is that I have taken the time to actually do it. So if you do that, if you take the time to paint, to attend maybe a class or a paint party, or watch, videos online, you can do it. You can do it. And it's not for anything other than just therapeutic and fun. And it's great if you have children and they see you, being creative, doing something fun, have a hobby. They'll pick up on that and they'll want to do it. They might even want to do it with you. Kids are naturally creative and they love you to play with them, and this is a great way to play. I really enjoy it when I get time to paint with my daughter. Of course, be prepared. Kids are done quicker. They are done, and they are not as critical of themselves as we adults tend to be. Most times they are just quick and happy. All right, so this is supposed to be Venus. So I'm going to make this one extra, I guess a little extra big, and with a little more glow. Make it stand out somehow. I might even add some glitter at the end. If you start seeing that your dashes are just all covered and you can't really tell what's in the sky, you can't tell the swirl, your swirl is gone, just go back and reshape it with a little bit of white around the edges with a lighter color, or maybe you need darker blue just to make it stand out and give it some definition on your paper, on your painting. Let me see. I really hope that if you have joined me, that you give me a comment. Comment Starry Night if you would like the free tracer and step-by-step instructions so that you can paint this with your children, with your friends, with your husband, with your ladies group. This would be a fun ladies night in. Something different, out of the ordinary, I always say. You know, that's why I named my company Creative Escape, because it is an escape from the monotony, from the everyday, from the routine, from the, schedules and task lists that you have, and just escape it all and just be creative. So it's a creative escape. Give yourself permission to enjoy yourself. It's okay. The dishes can wait. The laundry can wait. It's not going anywhere. Believe me, it'll be there. It'll always be there. Even when we're long gone, it'll always be there. So just take a break. Do something fun so that when you do go back to your chores, you'll be recharged. You'll feel better. You'll feel just happier, and you'll look back and be like, wow, I actually did it. I actually painted that. How crazy is that I actually did that? Okay, so there I've got some of my stars on there. And again, you don't have to add this many. You can have less stars. Now real quick, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the tree. So this is a cypress tree, and it just, to be honest, I'm not sure if this is what a cypress tree really looked like, but this is what they said it is. So I'm going to take this is a 1/2 inch brush. It's flat, and I picked up some brown, and I'm just holding it like so, standing, and I'm going to trace the edge, bring it up, and just right into the sky, like that. Not perfect, because it's just supposed to be imperfect. And we're going to add lots of layers, and it's going to look really awesome. So right now, this is just the first layer. It's a base coat. And here we go. I'm going to swerve up, and then I'm going to come down. Tomorrow, I'm going to do part 2, and tomorrow I'm going to paint the rest of it. We're going to paint the town. We're going to paint the rolling hills. And maybe you can give me some ideas on what fun thing I should add. Like I showed you in my first painting, I added my daughter, the little girl reaching for the stars. So give me some ideas on what I should add to this one. And I'm bringing it all the way to the top, just very lightly. Remember, light pressure so that you can control the width of your strokes here. And whenever you want to go thicker, well, then you can press down. So right here, as I'm going here, I want to go thin. So I'm going to light pressure up, bring it down, light pressure up, bring it down. There we go. So let me know in comments, Starry Night, if you would like to claim your free tutorial, step-by-step instructions, tracer, and you can paint your own. You'll get it right into your inbox. You can visit my website, or you can click on the link that I will put as soon as I'm done with this live. I'll put the link up in the description, and you can go grab that tracer. And then tomorrow, I'll be live again at 6 o'clock. Yes, 6 o'clock. I'll be live tomorrow, and I will paint part 2 of this Starry Night Van Gogh's masterpiece, which, remember what I told you, he considered it a failure. So don't be so harsh on yourself. The master himself was unhappy with his painting. So let's be a little, more positive. Poor man, he was in, an asylum, so we can't really be harsh for the way he felt about it, but let's just be happy, enjoy it. We are not fine artists, but we are artists indeed. Okay? We are artists among artists. So, there you go. I hope you enjoyed tonight. I will finish this tomorrow. Have a pleasant evening. I'll place the link in comments and you can create your own. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.